Today we're going to be talking about, in this video, we're talking about stories and how important stories are. If you guys are here thinking that Instagram posts are where the conversion happens, you're completely wrong. Stories are so vital, and if you aren't posting stories, well, guess what? On you're missing out on potential closes and building relation with the people that actually follow you. Having followers doesn't correlate to how much money you're making, right? Especially if you are not utilizing your stories. I'm going to show you the importance of stories in this video, and we're going to start off with the thought process behind stories, right? When it comes to your stories are an opportunity to showcase your life on a daily basis to build trust with your audience. Show them who you are, what you stand on, what you're about, and what you believe in, right? What makes stories great is that they are like a reality TV show your audience can come back and see each and every single day. You need to treat your stories like your own TV show, right? And in treating your stories like a TV show, you are going to build a relationship with the person on the other side of the screen. I want you to think to, right, we think back to, if you guys ever watched Batman and how there was an animated series of Batman, we got to see Batman's highs, we got to see Batman's lows, his victories and his losses. And throughout the process, throughout the episodes, guess what? We become more and more connected to Batman. Actually, let me rephrase that to Bruce Wayne, because we get to know who he is behind the mask, right? What he actually does on a day-to-day basis. It is broken down in each and every single episode, allowing us to build what? Relationship with Bruce Wayne, right? You guys need to treat yourself like you're your own superhero. And your Instagram reels, yeah, we put on the mask sometimes, but our stories is where we take it off and really show who we are behind the scenes on a day-to-day basis, right? Quite literally treating our stories like we're filming a television series of our day-to-day life, right? And it's one of the easiest ways to build trust over time, and will get you more and more conversations from viewers to paying clients. Like I said, your follower count does not equivalent to the money that you make, right? If you are not warming up these followers to the idea of your offer, they're just followers. It's just a number, right? And I want you guys to not take that the wrong way, because even if you have a big following, right? If you're not posting deeply transformative content through your stories, through your posts, then it is just a number. What are you really doing for that person, right? What are they really going to be influenced by, right? So you guys need to utilize your stories and drop your stories as if you were making your own television series, because that's how you need to be looking at your stories. The fire analogy. At bare minimum, we want to be posting 5 stories a day. There should be I'm tripping. The fire analogy, at the bare minimum, we want to be posting 5 stories each and every single day. This is a non-negotiable. If you guys want to be successful, this is what it takes. 5 stories each and every single day, and you should be aiming upwards of 10. Up to 10 stories, 10 plus, right? The more stories we post, the more authentic it gets, trust me, right? And every day that goes by and your viewers watch your story, it is like adding wood to your fire. And that is a fact. They're getting warmer and warmer. Your audience starts to feel the heat and leans in. After a week, the fire is steady growing. After a week, the fire is steady and glowing. Then another week, it's blazing, right? The more and more these people see of you, the more connected they're going to feel with you, right? If we want to ultimately get and form a relationship with the person on the other side of the screen, it takes time, it takes energy. We need to treat these people as if they're our friends, and they will become our friends. But if we treat them like strangers, they're just going to stay strangers. So I want you to think about it. Do you think the friends that you have around you today got there by you treating them like strangers? Ultimately, you had to treat them like friends, someone you care about, someone you trust, before they actually became your friends, right? So our stories needs to be, so our stories need to be framed the same way. We need to be talking to these people as if they're our friends, and then they will become our friends. People only buy from people they like, and that is a fact. If no one likes you, no one's gonna buy from you, right? I want you guys to take this part in. But the day you missed that post on your story, I want you guys to really take this in, because you guys may not think much of it. But one day you missed that post on your story, guess what? That fire starts to die, and it dies fast, right? So consistency is so key when it comes to your story. Having people anticipating to see your circle, your story first thing is so important. That consistency. It shows drive. It shows drive. It shows discipline. And not only that, but they can stay in tune with your journey. And like I said, every story that they watch, the fire gets warmer and warmer to the point where it's blazing, and then they message you for some reason. Maybe it's something you did throughout your day that caught their eye, caught their attention, and now they're reaching out to you, right? So now, how to maximize the power of stories. So the way to maximize the power of the story is by being able to make regular experiences on a daily basis tie into your coaching, right? Now, what does that actually look like? All right, so now I'm going to show you how to optimize your stories in a 3-pillar breakdown. So the way to optimize the power of your stories is by being able to make regular experiences on a daily basis tie into your coaching offer. So first things first, we want to start with the problem, right? So let's say it's your average day, and like, this is about making these small situations deeply transformative, because no matter how big the problem is, how small the problem is, how big the problem is or how small the problem is, it is going to be relatable to someone on the other side of the screen. So for this example, I'm walking right now and I'm about to cross the street, but then the light turns green and I get a little bit annoyed. But then I remember that it's a blessing for me to even be walking, for me to have 2 legs that actually work, when there's people out here that don't have that opportunity, that have to get strolled in wheelchairs all day, and you have the blessing of 2 legs. Right? Bang. That right there in itself builds relatability. There's other people that have been walking, and guess what? The light turns green and they get annoyed. They get mad. Maybe they spilled milk and they're crying about it. They're complaining about it and not realizing that, yo, I have milk, right? And that in itself, by identifying these small circumstances, it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't matter how small the problem is, how big the problem is. It's about stating your problems to build relatability, because that person on the other side of the screen can be going through these same things on a daily basis, right? Has probably been where you are at right now in the present, right? Right in the present while you're filming this story, right? The next thing we want to do is build vulnerability and trust by using our past struggles and our past experiences. For so long, I would take so many things for granted, and I was miserable because of it. I'd go days wondering why I was so annoyed, and it was because I let the little things get to me. Bang, we're building trust, we're building relatability, we're building vulnerability, right? We're showing them that we've been there, we've been in a position where our limiting beliefs were blocking us from actually being grateful, from us actually realizing that, yo, I have this opportunity of a lifetime. We're showing the new way of thinking. At the end of the story, we always want to be giving a solution. We don't want to state a problem and not give them the solution to that problem. So as soon as I was able to realize this, I realized that I've been so much happier and productive, and it's been caused by just being more present in the moment, right? And this is what establishes the authority. This is what establishes your authority in that coaching frame, right? This is what allows them to look at you and be like, yo, this guy is on a different level. His way of thinking is optimistic, where I find myself in the very same situations, but I think pessimistically. And now they're positioning you up here as an authority, as someone that's actually giving them and helping them adopt the new way of thinking, and that's going to allow them to actually get the desired outcome that they want to get. And mind you, this is all done in your story, right? You could go through this easily in one story or even 2 stories, right? But this is the effective framework that you need to be following within your stories, because it does matter. You just picking up your phone and talking mindlessly, it could be effective, but this is the actual framework of effective story, a very effective story. And you guys might overthink your stories for a little bit after seeing all this, and I don't want you guys to be overwhelmed. I want you to understand, by using all 3 pillars in your stories, it's going to position you as an authority figure, and it's going to allow eyes to be on your coaching offer, right? So ultimately, this is going to help you a lot when it comes to your story framework. I don't want you guys sitting down and thinking about what stories to post for 10, 20 minutes. Get a topic, break it down into the 3 pillars, bang, 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 and then just let it flow, right? And over time, I don't want you, right? And over time, you're going to find that this framework automatically comes to you. You can digest the topic, and then you can break it down using the 3 pillars automatically, right? And you can just pull out your phone and record. There's no shortcut to getting good at stories or getting good at reels. What it takes is experience. Rep after rep after rep. You become more acquainted with the skill, because you have to understand content creation is a skill. You're not going to get better just from some tip or trick Nigel Daly tells you. It's something that needs to be practiced rep after rep after rep. And over time, you're going to be able to pull out your phone and just be saying, right? You're just going to be able to pull out your phone and talk, right? And have it come out with the 3 pillar structure. Next thing we're going to go over is the daily story breakdown, right? So every day, make the story concept similar to the last, right? You watch one Batman episode, it starts with a problem every single time. Then he falls short. He gets overwhelmed with the situation. Something happens. An unpredicted circumstance pops up, obstacle pops up. Guess what? He overcomes it. He wins the battle. And right, the same framework is done in each and every single episode. We look at a TV series like SpongeBob, every single episode is quite frankly the same. Hence the reason people can watch episodes back to back to back, because if they enjoyed this one, guess what? Chances are they're going to enjoy the next episode because it's not far off, right? Your audience should expect what they are going to see. Don't worry about repeating yourself. People need things repeated in many different ways before it clicks. And that is a fact. I get so many guys come to me like, yo, I don't want to say the same thing over and over again. I feel like I talk about it too much in my posts, and my posts line up with my stories, and I'm saying this thing over and over again. Bro, sometimes that's what people need to actually digest it, right? Some people need things to be heard and said. Some people need things to be said 10 different times before they actually digest what you're saying. So don't worry about being repetitive. An example of this is show your morning routine, show your lunch, show your pump at the gym, explain how each one of these are beneficial using the framework, and then show client check-ins is one of the biggest ones, bro. On a daily basis, every day you check your clients, every day you're checking in with your clients, bro, make sure you're recording. Show them that you're checking in with your guys. Show them that you're holding them accountable. Right? Show them that you're checking in with your guys. Show them that you're holding them accountable, that you have a personal relationship with your guys, right? It's the biggest proof of product that you can possibly do through your stories. Better yet, when you show your guys, yo, Ethan, what did we do on today's call? What are we talking about? Get them to use their voice, get them to share, show the connection in the relationship, how comfortable they are with you, right? That's the perfect thing, right? That's the perfect way to show your client check-ins off on your stories, show your product off on your stories, and then bang. Easy way to hit 10 plus stories is using this framework. We want to do 4 stories in the morning, 4 stories in the afternoon, and then 4 nightly routine stories that you just sit down and you talk, you vent at nighttime. All right. But in terms of stories, that about sums up everything. Make sure you guys rewatch this and actually digest. And if you need to get out a notepad and write down maybe how you want to structure your TV series, get it done. On a daily basis, you need to be sticking up with their stories because, like I said, it's about warming them up, right? And the warmer it gets, the more they lean into your offer, right? To the point where it's burning hot that they just want what you have, right? And that's the point where they're going to message you. It might not be directly about your offer. It might be just a message about your morning routine. That you go to the gym consistently every single day for the last week, right? And they want to say, yo, I love your physique, man. And then boom, opportunity. I want you guys to really take in from watching this how important stories are. Stories are so vital. Make sure you do not miss and you stay consistent with your stories. Treat it like your television series. And when it comes to your television series, make it something you're proud of.